This presentation will be on SMART goals, composing effective performance goals every time.
Are you saying I'm not responsive to the customers?
I'm not saying that. I'm saying that on 2 occasions you didn't get back to the customers quickly enough, and they complained.
I told you I was looking into the problem, and I didn't want to call them back until I knew exactly what went wrong and I had a solution. Now, I resolved both issues, didn't I?
There's a reason why the word promptly is stated in the goal.
What? A day and a half isn't prompt? I mean, that's how long it took me to respond to both issues.
You should have contacted them the next day at the latest.
Well, now I know what you mean by promptly.
I just assumed you would know that meant getting back to the customer within a day.
That was an unpleasant surprise and an uncomfortable discussion. Jeff and Mary's situation painfully illustrates what can happen when a performance goal isn't clear or specific. How could they have avoided it? How can you avoid it? There is a foolproof way to compose effective performance goals. It's a technique called SMART. SMART stands for specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time-bound. When these criteria are present, you've got a well-written, effective performance goal. Select each letter of SMART to learn more about that particular component. When you are ready, select Next to see how the SMART criteria work. Let's revisit Mary's performance goal. Mary's original goal was respond promptly to customer problems to ensure customer satisfaction. At first glance, this sounds good, but let's compare it to the SMART criteria. We know that Jeff and Mary had different ideas of what promptly meant, so let's start there. While promptly adds a time-bound component to the goal, it isn't clear or specific. Let's replace it. That's more like it. Also, adding flexibility would make this goal more attainable and measurable, something like this. What about the other criteria? The goal is relevant because it supports the achievement of the team's customer service goals. And it's more specific because Mary now knows exactly what is expected of her when responding to customers. The goal now meets the SMART criteria. For more in-depth learning and some practice, let's select an option. Let's see if you can spot the SMART criteria in this performance goal. Assuming the goal is attainable and relevant, what other SMART components are present? We will do this exercise together. Think about which other components of the SMART goal you would like to select. The goal is not specific, nor does it have any way to measure results. It does include a time-bound component, by the end of the year, so I will select time-bound. How would you make this goal more specific and measurable? We will do this exercise together. Think about how you might write the goal. I will then type a rewrite in the text box and click Compare. Let's try one more. We will do this exercise together. How should I rewrite this goal to make it SMART? I will type in a rewrite, then click Compare. regularly to ensure they align with team and RDC objectives, which can sometimes change. When you set SMART goals, whether with the people you lead or with your manager, you will always know exactly what is expected and you will be better able to manage any changes. Also, everyone will have an easier time agreeing on how the person has performed. You have now completed the course. Resources will be available to you so that you can get started today on composing performance goals that accelerate results.